We're at the Kansas City, Missouri central branch of the library today doing an event with about 80 people across the community looking at Google Fiber and how it can change lives, can revolutionize what Kansas City is all about in a variety of communities, whether that's learning communities and education, living communities in suburbs and the urban core, or leading community activities and things like that. We have a large group, but it's very diverse, not only as a large group, but within specific communities. So, for example, Urban Core is one of the groups. So they're looking at some of the opportunities, some of the issues of folks who live in the urban core, and then talking about how Google Fiber could help to address that. There's other exercises that's really stretched the thinking beyond the day to say, well, if Google Fiber is 100 times faster than the internet right now, how could we make the experience for people in the urban core 100 times better? Or if there were no ability for anyone to object, what kinds of things could we do? And each group, even though they're looking at small parts of the community, they're also looking at how could their ideas fit with other parts of the community, some of the things the other groups are looking at as well. So that'll generate a lot of ideas, and then soon they'll start to take those ideas and turn them into concepts. Tonight there's a public forum that's hosted by the Kansas City Public Library, and it's an opportunity for people in the community, some of whom participated this morning, but folks who weren't able to participate, or maybe were watching through live streaming or watching online, to come together and hear a report out from each of the 7 groups, some of the main concepts that they worked on. It's a chance to ask questions, learn a little bit more about Google Fiber, and then time allowing, even to interact with some of the individual groups and the facilitators so that they can already start to shape the ideas that we'll put together.
So I was in the libraries group, and we talked about the impact of Google Fiber on the library's mission to bring content, to cultivate literacy, and to increase civic engagement in the community. So there were a few big ideas or big themes. One was bridging the digital divide. So the library's mission in helping people sort of maintain literacy or get access to content now means helping people get access to digital content. So not only providing access to the libraries, but providing the means and the knowledge of how to access all of the content that the library provides.
I was in the Urban Core group, and we were looking at ideas and strategies on how to leverage Google Fiber in terms of helping to develop and bring opportunities to the urban core. One that we talked about is microloans, and you know, the microloans is a concept that's being used around the world to help, in a lot of cases, you know, underprivileged countries. Well, the whole concept of maybe using this technology to actually facilitate or fund micro kind of projects in the urban core could be fascinating, to a way to bring empowerment and new capabilities and really generate a real entrepreneurial kind of spirit inside the urban core.
I represented or facilitated the Suburban issues and the ideas group. We had concepts that ran the gamut, but a lot of them had some common themes about making the most of our scarce resources. That was really a common one where, you know, there seems to be so much waste, whether it's in government, whether it's in our own personal use, that, you know, our own connectedness and the use of information better will allow us to use resources better at the suburban level. And the other one that's probably a big one is, you know, creating communities in suburban areas where, you know, based on connectivity, whether it's in education, whether it's in how we interact with each other, using the Google Fiber capabilities to bring people, families, schools and children, you know, all closer together to create a more tightly knit, more closely knit community that we can all be proud of.
We theme the day under learning, living, and leading as a way to really kind of capture the idea of what can this capability, ultra high-speed internet, mean for Kansas City. So in terms of how to best capture that, we thought, well, we'll take this group of 80 people and have them focus on 7 different areas under those 3 themes.
The interesting thing is, well, books are already repositories of information. What if we extended the idea and made it a repository for more than just book-type information? What if there are servers in this basement because you had a Gigabit, which is about the same amount of bandwidth a big data center has, and you had servers down there, and the servers served up digital content. And that digital content could be curated by people at the library, because one of the biggest problems you have on the internet today is that there's a lot of information, but how much of it is good information?
And then you add that speed with access anywhere, and that anyone can have this. And so you think about some of the urban concerns that exist today, from transportation to access, to safety and security, to lack of money, age, disability. The basic needs are sometimes not even met.
How can you speed a community to greatness? Okay, that's pretty powerful stuff. So the 4 concepts that we came up with were really about using high-speed internet to speed the Kansas City community as a whole to greatness. And 4 concepts we came up with. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about the concepts themselves because you're going to get to read about it. These are good, they're going to be developed. So I'm going to give you 4 big